Good tactical afternoon. I am Tactical Laptop Bag, and today marks the start of a devlog for a game I'm making called Tactical Airsoft Training Simulator. My friends and I, we play airsoft when we can, and we really enjoy it. We're just really bad at it. And I've always wanted to practice and get better at it, but I don't really have the ability to do that at home. So I decided to try it in VR with hot dogs, horses, and hand grenades. And it works, except for the fact it takes 3 seconds for the hot dogs to start shooting back at you after they realize you're in the room. And it also is not exactly a one hit, one out, because you have to aim for the head or the upper torso, and even then, sometimes it doesn't work for the upper torso. So, I decided to take matters into my own hands and make this simulator here. So, first things first, I am using Valve's interaction system that they made for the lab, and I must say, this is absolutely beautiful. I can look around, or not, I can obviously look around in VR, but I can see how my fingers are touching my controllers or how they are in real life. And if you had Knuckles controllers, you could do individual finger tracking, and touch controllers can also do their finger tracking as well. So, first things first, I'm going to talk about object interactions. So the Vive ones, you typically use the trigger to pick up things in VR instead of the grip button. The grip button is typically like a secondary interaction with anything, really. Like in H3, you use the grip button to drop things, at least for the Vive ones. However, with the touch controllers and the Knuckles controllers, this is not the case. Instead, you're using the grip button to pick up things, and the trigger is kind of a secondary thing, like maybe pulling the trigger on a gun. I mean, it's called a trigger. So the way Valve has handled this is you can pick up things with the grip button and the trigger button at the same time. So I have made different poses for the magazine to test this. So you can hold the magazine with your grip button, and you can see I have control over my index finger because I'm using a wand. But if I had Knuckles, I could control the other fingers on here as well, as long as one finger was clenched around the magazine. So you can see here I can actually just hold the magazine with the grip button, and this is actually quite painful, so I'm going to let go and hold it with the trigger. And you can see I can hold it with the trigger. I need to get that thumb movement fixed, but I can hold it however I please with trigger and grip button. So if you have the touch controllers, you can hold things with the trigger as well. Same thing with the Knuckles, and it will respond to how you're pulling your different input for picking up objects. That's enough about the magazine. Let's get on with the gun here. So this here is a WeTech IREX Competition High Kappa 1911. Quite a mouthful, I know, but this is the very same 1911 sidearm that I use in Airsoft, and it is quite a good gun. You can actuate the hammer by touching the top of the touchpad, which doesn't do anything. It's mainly just for show. You can also rack the slide, and it will pull back your hammer. You can pull the trigger, and actually pull the trigger, like you can see it moving. And you can take your magazine. This is a golden magazine, which means it has infinite ammo. You just take it out and put it back in, and it has replenished ammo. And rack the slide here, and we're ready to fire. Now, this entire time I've been holding the grip button, so when you have Vive wands and you hold this, it's going to look like this. Yeah, I'm going to get that fixed probably next week, because that is going to be an issue with some people, particularly me, because this does not look appealing in the slightest, especially when you start firing this thing. So this thing does fire much like an actual gas blowback airsoft pistol. You just pull the trigger, the slide pulls back, and it ejects the BB. As you can see, it's bouncing around. This is a trail so that way you can see where the BB is going and how it's moving around. I am using physics to fire these BBs and do the collision stuff for it, and it is going to be very CPU intensive on your computer, so you need to have a good CPU for this. I have used an AMD A8 9600 for this, and it did work. I mean, it's a bad processor, kind of, so you kind of have to give it some slack, but it did get at least 60 frames per second, which is suitable for Windows mixed reality, at least. But with this, you can just keep firing, and you can see all these BB trails are everywhere, and they're bouncing all over the environment, which is exactly how a BB would behave. Now, this gun does actually shoot exactly the same FPS it has in real life. This shoots about 350 FPS, So I have this set to fire a BB at 350 FPS. All right, there we go. We have finally run out of ammo. This 30-round magazine definitely suits this gun. But you can see the slide is locked back, and if we click the left side of the touchpad, we can release the slide, and if we pull the trigger again, the slide will simply lock back without firing a BB, just like a real gas blowback pistol. So I'm going to eject this magazine by touching the bottom of the touchpad, and then put the magazine back in, rack the slide, and I can fire again. Yeah, I know that's not realistic, but you know what? Infinite ammo is not really realistic either, so, you know. You can also, of course, reload this by taking the magazine out, putting it back in, and clicking the slide release button on the left side of the touchpad. Just like that. There you go. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and turn around and show you these targets. One of the BBs has already hit them. So, these targets are going to be used throughout the game as I develop it, and you can basically just shoot it, and there will be a little red sphere that shows up as a hit marker, basically, to show you where you hit the target. And these targets will have different functionality, like when you hit it, it will send a message to the game saying, hey, I was hit, what do you want to do? And then it will say, okay, let's spawn in a different target in a different location, so that way the player has to react to that. That would be for like a reaction test or something like that. Another test I have planned is kind of a range test, I guess is what you call it. So back there is 50 feet. That target all the way back in the back. So what you can do is, I'll have a rifle, and you pull it out, and you flip it to fully automatic, and you fire full auto at the target in the back. And then this target here is 15 feet, so you flip the semi-auto, fire at that one, and this one's behind 15 feet, so say you are at a field where you can't engage with your rifle beyond or in front of 15 feet. So you have to put that back up, grab your pistol, whoops, that's a bug, and fire at the guy in front of you. And of course, this will be like a combination of reaction range kind of test, where these targets will pop up, and you have to grab the right weapon and shoot the right target. So that kind of revealed a little bit of next week's plan. I am going to be making a airsoft rifle, probably the A&K ACR Masada that I have, and implement that along with two-handed interaction. And also, I may actually get a reaction scene going, so that way I can get something done, at least while developing this. And I also do have a couple of bugs to fix here. As you can tell, when I pick this up with the trigger, it fires, which is kind of an issue. We can't be having that. So that is all I have for today. I hope y'all will enjoy this as much as I will, and goodbye. 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 I want to try to not punch my chair.